Hi, welcome to tutorial 7 in the Practical RF Design tutorial series. In this tutorial, we will be studying the 915 MHz RF energy harvesting variable pitch angle helix antenna simulation. This is an exciting tutorial because it's involved 4 different software. Those are SolidWorks, Altium Designer, EM Pro and ADS. I will be explaining later on why we have to use 4 different software. Let's look at the agenda for today's presentation. SolidWorks is used to design a variable pitch helix antenna. The Altium Designer is used in designing the PCB board. First, we will be importing the variable pitch helix antenna into EM Pro, whereas PCB is imported into ADS in the ODB++ file format. After that, we will be placing the variable pitch helix antenna onto the PCB in ADS and EM simulates them using RF Pro. Finally, we will be doing EM circuit core simulation and observe the results. Then, to further improve the results, we will do Smith chart impedance matching for the antenna. Results such as return loss, gain and efficiency will be analyzed. This is the variable pitch helix antenna drawn in SolidWorks. This is the helix antenna, this is the feed and this is the mounting connection to the PCB board. We are going to import this into EM Pro. In order to do that, first save this file as a .set. This is the EM Pro interface. In order to import the .set file we just saved, go to File, Import, CAD Files and then select the .set file we just saved. The unit is millimeter and then make sure heel is selected and click OK. This is the shape which we have created in SolidWorks. I will delete this rectangle shape because this is a dummy object and not needed for our simulation. Under Definitions, right-click on Materials and click on Select from Default Material Library. Select copper as the material for the helix antenna. Then we have to drag and drop the copper onto all the objects. As we drag and drop, we can see the color of the helix antenna is changing from blue to yellow. This is the mounting connection to the PCB board. The bottom face of the mounting connector will be placed on top of the PCB board. Due to this, the bottom face has to be at 0 z-axis. If it is not, like in our case here, it will create an error message in the RF Pro simulation later. To avoid this, we can either shift the helix in the EM Pro or set the offset in the ADS. I choose to do the earlier, so let's shift it. In order to do that, select all the object, click on Modify, Transform and select Translate. Key in the offset number which is 0.504639 . And now the z-axis is -5 e to the power of -7, which is very close to 0. Next, we have to combine all the parts or objects of the helix into one. This is an important step because if we don't, the RF Pro simulation will encounter an error. As a final step in the EM Pro, we can save the modified helix antenna design. To save, go to File, click Save Project as, and then give the project an appropriate name before saving it. This is the Helix Antenna Simulation Workspace. Here, we should add the EMPRO as a library to our ADS workspace. To do that, go to Design Kits, Manage Libraries, and then click on Add Library. Browse to the location where you saved the EMPRO 3D components, and then click Select. Since EMPRO has been added to the library here, I will click Cancel. Next, we have to generate and import the PCB ODB++ files into ADS. Since we already covered this in our tutorials 1 to 6, I'm not going to repeat this in this tutorial. Please watch all my tutorials to know how to generate and import ODB++ files into Keysight ADS and create pins and ports. Under the EMPRO library, go to Variable Pitch Helix Antenna EMPRO component. Drag the components layout into the PCB layout. Change the components layer as a top layer and place the Helix antenna onto the PCB board at the correct location. After that, launch the RFPro. You can see that the Helix antenna is not placed onto the dedicated pad. We will correct the Helix antenna placement by going back to the ADS layout. Let's check the placement of the Helix antenna again. Looks like we have placed the Helix antenna correctly on the dedicated pad. As usual, we will delete user-defined EM analysis as we won't be using it. Under the full EM analysis, drag all the pins from design to ports. We have one port duplication, so we have to delete that port with the wrong ground reference. Since I have already created ports in the port editor with correct ground reference, RFPro will just follow it. We can delete the port 14 as port 14 is not needed for the simulation. Next, go to Options. Under Frequency Plans, Frequencies, type Start Frequency as 0.7 GHz and Stop Frequency as 1.1 GHz. Under Field Storage, select User-Defined Frequencies and enable Far Field. For the simulator, we have to select FEM because we are simulating 3D Helix antenna. Momentum simulation will not work for 3D objects. Click Done and double-click on the Run. Since I have already done this simulation before, we need not wait for the simulation. Let's go and check the return loss. At port 1, the return loss for 915 MHz is minus 6.8 dB. This is marginal. We need to improve this further, and it's only possible through impedance matching. Double-click on the Generate Subcircuit model. Go to ADS Schematic. I have already placed the simulation controllers and ports. Now I have to drag and drop the Helix subcircuit model. Let's connect port 1 to P1 and simulate the Helix using S-parameter simulation controller to obtain the input impedance of the antenna. Make sure to right-click on the subcircuit model, go to Component, click Choose View for Simulation and select Schematic Full EM Analysis. The return loss is very similar to the return loss in the RFPro window. The antenna input impedance is 24.052 minus J24.155. Go to Tools and click on Smith Chart. Change the frequency to 0.915 GHz. The source impedance is 50 ohm and insert antenna input impedance as the load impedance. The calculated Q circle is 30, so go to circles Q and key in the value. Now we can easily impedance match the helix input impedance to 50 ohm. We have to go back to the schematic and connect Modalytics component to the correct pads. We will place another sub-circuit model and impedance match it. The inductor value is 8.5 nanohenry. The capacitor value is 3.6 picofarad. For the inductor, the closest value we can find is 8.2 nanohenry, so we will use that. For the capacitor, we have 3.6 picofarad. The matching is done with just 2 lump components, so we can leave the rest of the pads open and connect port 2 to P7. Simulation result shows improved return loss. We can compare the return loss before and after the matching. After the matching, return loss at 915 MHz has improved from minus 6.8 dB to minus 19.7 dB. We have about 10 MHz bandwidth, which is good enough to cover baud-to-baud variation. The impedance after matching is very close to 50 ohm. We can check the gain, efficiency and radiation pattern next. To do that, disable the S parameter simulation controller and enable AC simulation controller. Simulate the schematic again. Save the results and go to RF Pro interface. Double click on the far field. Under the results type, choose gain. For frequency, choose 915 MHz. Under the excitation type, choose circuit excitation. On the data set, go to select correct data set. The radiation pattern of the helix antenna is omnidirectional. The gain is 1.76 dBi. Click on Statistics to check the efficiency. The radiation efficiency is 95%, which is excellent. Thank you for watching this tutorial. I will see you in my next video with another interesting problem. For inquiries, please email pragash@innovwave.co or visit www.innovwave.co.